Hey everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Harmony Grove Coaches Show. My name is Dylan Word, and this week we'll be joined, as we always are, with Coach Ernie Horskamp, coming off the big 45-6 victory against the Dollarway Cardinals. And we'll also look forward to this week's matchup against the Smackover Buckaroos. So after this break, I'll be joined by the head Hornet, Coach Ernie Horskamp. And this break is brought to you by Woods Place. And we're back, and Coach Horskamp, a 45-6 victory over the Dollarway Cardinals, going 1-0 in conference. How about that Friday night?
Well, it's great to go 1-0 in conference, get that bad taste out of our mouth over the last couple weeks, and hadn't played at home in almost a month, and then to come and play a home game in front of that atmosphere.
Oh my goodness! How about
packed
that?
out stands, had a great crowd standing, and then that student section.
It was unbelievable.
It was rocking. I told the people after the game, I said, everybody, I wear a headset, and mine's double-sided.
Right.
I usually don't hear anything, and I could actually hear the crowd. I actually heard the students. And I usually don't hear anything, so it's. I think they had a great time and a great effect on the game.
Absolutely, it looked really good, and we kind of started off slow in that first quarter, which has become the norm for us this season. But second quarter, we busted it right open.
Yeah, you're right. Both teams just kind of traded possessions there in the first quarter. We got our possession there at the end of the first quarter and the beginning of the second, and went ahead and punched it in. I think Caleb Johnson scored on a 19, 20-yard touchdown run down here on this end, and then we kind of caught fire from there.
We did.
The next possession, the ball comes loose. Jeremiah Morgan scoops it up, scores from probably about 40 yards or so. I don't remember the exact distance, but Jeremiah showed some speed there. Kind of left that guy, that quarterback that was back, and Jeremiah picked it up, went and scored.
Credit to him for being aware of the ball is right there in front of him.
Yeah, there was a big crowd there, and I think he was about the only one. He must have looked like he was the only one that seen it. And then, after that, come back, get another stop defensively, and we'll talk about the defense here in a little bit, but they played great.
Oh, absolutely.
Then, come back, Daniel Hills gets a touchdown run. Time's kind of winding down there in the second quarter, right before halftime. They get the ball back, and we know we have some timeouts left, so there's a chance we get it back. Defense has a great possession there, and Dollarway kind of helps us out, throwing an incompletion, gives us a little more time. So
which is rare that they throw a pass.
Right, exactly. They didn't throw too many.
No.
And then we forced them to punt, get the ball back, and thought we were going to have to work our way down the field. Like we had to do the first two touchdown drives that we had offensively. And first play, Caleb rolls right, and he kind of reverses field and finds Landon Garrett wide open. And then Landon takes care of the rest and makes a great play. And end up 31-0 at halftime after a scoreless first quarter. Go in at halftime knowing that Dollarway's a dangerous team, because anybody that was there could see the talent level that they had. They had some size up front. And, their backs, they run the football hard. I think everybody saw that. They have a chance to be a very good football team. We've kind of talked about it a few times. You and I spoke about it Friday night after the game. It seems like things kind of momentum swings and things get away from you sometimes. I think that's what happened with them. And credit to our guys for putting their foot on the gas and
not letting
up. Come back after halftime, force them to punt, get the ball back and drive down the field. And Tobias Hicks scores. I think it took about 3 or 4 plays to get down there, and got the clock running, kicked the extra point, 38-0. Got to play everybody. Had a lot of guys in there Friday night. They ended up scoring on a possession there in the fourth quarter, and in the third quarter, and then we end up answering, and Lane Davis punches one in there at the end of the fourth quarter.
And having Lane Davis come back from injury, it's got to do something good for that young man.
Yeah, you're right. Lane suffered a knee injury this summer, and been a long road back. Just you always want to be careful. Those guys get cleared, and just because they're cleared one day doesn't mean you're not nobody's game ready from
Oh, no.
from that long of an injury, that long of being idle and not being able to practice and play and then come back. He went through practice last week. Lane's a returning starter, and he kind of worked through practice. He was pretty sore going through and getting back in the flow of things, and Spot played him there in some spots, and then kind of seeing where he's at, and because even. It wasn't like we went full out tackling him every down out at practice, and go out and get some snaps defensively, got some snaps offensively, and then scores a touchdown there in the fourth quarter. Great for him. I know he's glad to be back, and he's going to do nothing but make us better.
Oh, absolutely.
A player like Lane, getting him back,
and he's a downhill type of back.
Right. Lane blocks well, runs through the football well, runs the ball hard, has a knack of finding the football.
He does.
Defensively, so kind of, that's just another piece to the puzzle that we've added.
Absolutely.
So just help us in the long run.
And I want to go back, talking about Landon Garrett. He had an outstanding night for a sophomore on both the receiving end and the special teams end, even though he didn't get the special teams return for a touchdown, but he had big yardage that way.
Yeah, we had a couple big punt returns, had the big kickoff return there after their score, and that kind of put us in position there to score that last touchdown. He had, 3 or 4 big punt returns, put us in a good field position, put us on a short field. We were able to, score there after those. Caught some big passes there. We mentioned the big one right before halftime to, it didn't end the game, but you go from 24 to 31, it just feels different every time you start adding those scores there. And great for him. He's playing. He's not playing like a sophomore right now.
Oh no.
And good for him to and starting both ways, playing defense too. We mentioned special teams, and so he's a busy young man on the football field doing a great job.
That's right, and special teams as well. We got to see a little bit of field goal kicking Friday night. 3 for 3 for Ty McCann.
Yeah, you're right. We went for 2 on the first 3 touchdowns. Went for 2 and got all those, and felt like it was a good time to give it an opportunity. And we just that's one of those extra points and field goals. That's one of those things you want us to be consistent at. We'd love after what we saw, that does show some consistency. Going 3 for 3, and everybody wants to point at the kicker, if he's making it or not, but it's a lot of things. Snap, hold, kick, protection. It's everything. So good for our extra point team, good for Tom.
Now tell me this story. I may be catching up guard. The T story Friday night.
Oh,
yeah. I don't know if you want to talk about that or not.
Yeah. I guess it was the second one, second extra point, when I guess it was after Tobias's score. I don't know why they didn't take the extra point tee out. No, I guess it was after the first one. We had been going for 2, and I called for 1. The extra point went out. And the tee didn't make it out there. I didn't know that. I was informed that it wasn't out there when right before the ball was snapped.
Okay.
I heard it on the headset. They don't have the tee, and I'm not going to complain because he made it.
He made it, yeah.
It's one of those deals where if you make it, great. If you don't, that's not good.
Not good.
But that's he actually was in pregame up at Harding. It's a lot different playing on grass than turf just because of the level. He actually felt like the tee was too high on that turf and actually practiced some kicking it from straight from the ground. And so that may have had something to do with him making it, but we went 2 for 2 with the tee, 1 for 1 without it. So it's a good deal. We can kind of laugh about it now. And, he did show something. Kicking it off the ground. He has a strong leg.
He does.
Just got to be consistent. And he's showing some consistency.
Absolutely. So let's jump to the defensive side of the football. That front 3 for us did awesome Friday night.
Yeah, those 3 defensive linemen, those 2 stand-up ends.
Bakari and Logan, and then you got Walker Sweat the nose.
Right, and those backers those 3 down linemen just controlled the game. It seemed like, you're sitting there with that wishbone attack. We felt like, we could control it. Kind of mixed our fronts up and slanted some, but. You know, they had a hard time dealing with those guys, and we had a constant rotation in there with, you know, you mentioned Logan McCann, Walker Sweat, you know, Quentin Jones was
Yep,
in there,
absolutely.
mixed in Grant Bearden, Bakari Thomas, Jaden Walker. I mean, just keeping those guys fresh and, you know, got good quality depth on that defensive line. Those guys played great. And you know, you watch the game on Friday live and you feel like they're playing good. And then, I mean, then you go and watch film and then it just proves that you're right, because those guys really did control the football game up there.
And as we go off into more conference play, they're going to get better because teams are going to keep running the football, and those guys will get more confident in themselves.
Right, and you know, it's a good thing we've got those guys, because we do play in a run-dominant league with, you know, Riza, McGee. You'll see even Smackover, you know, guys, you know, teams that run the football 80-85% of the time, sometimes even more than that, at a higher percentage than that. You know, being able to keep those guys fresh and you know, and being able to mix up our fronts, and you know, those guys, a lot of them can play different positions. They can play the nose, they can play the end, and being able to, you know, be able to put all the big guys in there at once, or if we want to put the quicker guys all in there at once, you know, it just helps us have all that depth.
Absolutely. And you speak of Smackover, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll talk about that game against the Smackover Buckaroos this Friday night. And this break is brought to you by Bounds Tire. And this break is brought to you by D&M Storage. And we're back in Coach Horsecamp. 1-0 in conference. We go from Dollarway. We go on the road again to Smackover this weekend. What can we expect from the Hornets?
Well, you know, we're going to play a good team in Smackover. You know, they have a lot of potential. You know, they do have really good athletes. You know, something that they've had success at this year. You know, off and on, at times against Junction City and especially against Hampton and Parker's Chapel, they've had success getting the edge because they do have some fast backs. So you know, that's what expect to see that. You know, they're not gonna throw the ball a whole lot. You know, we mentioned being in a run dominant league. They're gonna run the football quite a bit. When they do throw it, they do have a big play receiver. They've got the Hildreth kid. A lot of people have seen him for a long time. I think he's listed about 6'3", 6'4", 180. You know, a potential college athlete there. You know, he's got some big playability, and you know, we'll have to be aware of him all the time. Defensively, they're very aggressive. They'll base have an even front, mix in a little bit of bare front there at times. Saw that, you know, against one opponent, and then just and you know, they're just trying to match whatever their opponent does. They'll be multiple defensively, but no matter what front they're giving you, they're going to be pretty aggressive. So you're going to see a lot of blitzing out of them. You know, and one thing about that, when you face teams like that, you know, they're probably going to make some plays, but when you catch them in it, sometimes you can make a big play yourself. So that's something we're going to have to make big plays when we catch them in those situations. You know, they're able to do that. You know, I mentioned that they do have some speed, and those guys play in the secondary. And anytime you're fast and you got that speed, you can make up for mistakes. They're able to do that.
And in years past, we always play Smackover pretty close and pretty good. But you speak of the Hildreth kid. In the secondary, how can we stop that big of an athlete?
Well, you know, just pick and choose. You know, mix up the coverages. You know, give him a different look. You know, disrupt his timing. You know, we do. I think, you know, going back to last Friday against Dollarway, I think we showed a physicality that we had not shown to that level. I think we played. I think we played physical, but I think we took it to another level Friday. Very pleased with that. And we're going to have to be physical in the secondary. You know, if he crosses, he catches one, we've got to let him know that we're there.
I know some backers that will let him know.
And so we'll have to let those receivers know we're there, and you know, and hopefully that has an effect later in the game.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to going down to Smackover, hopefully to start 2-0. And I don't ever want to say that we're looking past an opponent, but then we look after Smackover, we got McGee, which is a big matchup. But we got to play Smackover first.
Yeah, we're all of our attention right now is focused on Smackover. You know, we've got a test going down there because, in all honesty, you talk about our scrimmage over at Hampton, going to Fordyce, and then going to Harding Academy. We've played a lot better at home.
Yes, we
the
have.
2 games at home, we have played a lot better.
have.
That's going to be a test for us to go down there on the road, and we've got to be able to play well on the road.
And Smackover is always an intense environment, no matter who's playing down there.
Exactly.
So after this quick break, we're going to talk more with Coach Ernie Horskamp about some keys to the game against Smackover. And this break is brought to you by JDC Tree Service. All right, and we're back. And Coach, during the break, we talked about what offense Smackover runs. They run a little bit of wing T in the spread, which we have ran in the past. So our defense should be able to recognize it.
We're getting to the middle of the season now, and as you move on into the middle and into the season, a lot of times you have seen most of the formations and schemes you're going to see throughout the rest of the year, and that's one thing with our non-conference schedule that the teams we played were all just a little bit different. They'll split time between the wing T, which is similar to what Fordyce runs. Their plays that they run are a little bit different. They don't run as many series out of the wing T as Fordyce does. And then they'll mix in some spread, 2-back spread. Then they'll come out just similar to us in their spread stuff. They'll have the blocking back, in the back beside the quarterback, and then sometimes they'll go 4 wide with just the 1 back. A lot of they're similar to what we do. Also, they trying to gap scheme, trying to be physical up front, run off tackle, and then also similar to us again, trying to get the ball out in open space to some good athletes.
And we talked in the previous segment how physical our defense played Friday night. Can we hopefully expect more of that this Friday night?
Yeah, like I said, I thought we took it to another level with our physicality, and now we've just got to keep that. I thought, even if you looked at Dollarway's players and Harmony Grove's players, you probably wouldn't have thought that we wore them down physically,
Yeah, exactly.
And I thought we did.
It was night and day. And going into the game, I'm thinking, okay, we're coming off Harding Academy. We might be a little sluggish, but coming out of it, it was night and day.
Right.
For us of how physical we were against Dollarway.
Right, and thought that was probably I think, I know we had some big plays there, and we played well all, throughout in every phase, but I really thought the physicality that we showed on both sides of the football is what the difference was last Friday.
And it's got to do good for a coach to see that.
Yeah, and it feels good. You see that, you preach it, that, don't nobody forget what we're playing. A lot of times the most physical team is going to be the one that comes out on top, and we were by far the most physical team Friday, and now that's just got to carry on. It needs to carry on to Smackover, and then the week after that, and the week after that.
Absolutely. So 7 o'clock this Friday night in Smackover down in Union County.
Yes, sir.
Hopefully we can keep the momentum going.
That's
get
right.
2-0 in conference and keep that momentum going.
Yeah, it'd be a nice to get off to a 1-0 start. Your focus in conference, just that, you can't afford to look ahead or back in the past or anything. Your focus is only that week, and our focus is on Smackover and do everything we can to get ready for them and come out on top Friday. 1
week at a time.
Exactly.
Like I always say. So for Coach Ernie Horskamp, I'm Dylan Word, and we will see you at the game. Take care.